The Infiniti G35 Sedan was built to stand up to some pretty tough competition, namely the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class sedans. So does this used car classic stand up to that tough competition? Let's find out. Well, in terms of styling, I love Infiniti's Art Deco looks. The trademark Art Deco flying buttresses really look amazing to me. I think the front end looks great. To me, it looks elegant and fast, even standing still. Overall, I'm a huge fan of the G35's shape, and I think it looks better than the more recent G37 model or even the new Q50. The interior looks elegant too. Simple and understated, but at the same time, also elegant. The power-operated seats are wrapped in leather. Heated seats were an option, but they do offer big side bolsters, just like the other Nissans and Infiniti of the day, and still currently. They haven't changed too much, and that's a good thing because they're comfortable, even on long trips. The leather-wrapped armrest hides some storage. You get some coin storage up front, plus a charger too. Moving forward, you can hide the compartment or reveal the dual cup holders. The automatic transmission can be manually shifted too, of course. The ashtray/storage is a problem in the G35. Sometimes it gets stuck open. To the right of that, you get your hazard lights and then some storage above. Now, this whole area has been replaced with a kit for the aftermarket stereo, which features USB and Bluetooth, a nice upgrade. And the automatic climate control is right here, and it works great. That's something you definitely want to check in any used car. Check the air conditioning, check the heater, and also check the defroster too. Up above that is some more storage. This one's actually used for satellite radio. You also get Infiniti's famous analog clock, and if you turn the climate control on, you can see information on that on this screen. It also has a charger on each side of the radio too. Very convenient. On the door you get power windows and door locks, plus some storage right there. Just to the left of the steering wheel you can control the lights on the dashboard. Also you can pop the trunk, or you can turn the vehicle dynamic control off. I don't recommend that unless you really know what you're doing. The steering wheel has controls for the radio and source, and also cruise control. The gauge cluster offers no nonsense like a good sports sedan's gauge cluster should, plus a nice large tachometer. You also get not one, but actually 2 glove boxes. The rear seats are better for 2, but you could fit 3 in a pinch if you really had to. Pulling down the armrest also gives you dual cup holders. The trunk also offers a pretty decent amount of storage. Power comes from a 3.5-liter V6, which makes 260 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 260 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 RPMs. Acceleration is impressive and better than anything else in its class, including BMW. 60 miles per hour takes just 6.1 seconds on the way to a quarter-mile time of 14.7 seconds at 95.1 miles per hour. Fuel economy is rated at 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 miles per gallon on the highway. Premium fuel is recommended for optimal performance. So pricing reveals that the 2002 to 2007 Infiniti G35 really is a bargain. I just checked the classifieds, and the price ranges right now from about $6,000 all the way up to $15,000 for a 2007. Of course, that's going to depend on year. It's also going to depend on the mileage and condition. So you want to be very careful when checking out a used car. You want to drive it, you want to see how it feels, listen for sounds, check out everything, all the options, the sunroof, and make sure that they all function correctly. It's also a good idea to take it to an independent mechanic, not the place where you're going to buy it, so they can thoroughly check out the car too. Also, if your state has inspection, then make sure it passes the inspection before you buy it. I really enjoy driving the Infiniti G35. It's easy to get the tail out, and it's really easy to control the handling in general. It's really an amazing car. Besides besting BMW and Mercedes in outright performance and speed, stopping is also very important. And in order to win races, sometimes you can just outbrake the competition. And guess what? The Infiniti G35 outbrakes its competition, stopping from 60 miles an hour in just 101 feet. If you think it sounds like a Nissan 350Z, you're correct. It's got the same engine, and it is a screamer. You can manually shift it if you want, but it's got plenty of power, and it really holds tight in the turns. Even though it's a sedan, it certainly performs like a sports sedan, if not a sports car. Looking over that hood, that's why I fell in love with the car. I just love that Art Deco flair that it has up front, and to me it's a looker, and more importantly, it's a performer. Front engine, rear wheel drive, just the way it should be. With close to a 50-50 weight distribution, it's 53-47. The handling is really neutral and very predictable. Visibility and comfort are also top notch. You can sit up tall if you want. The seat is very adjustable, so short or tall, you can definitely find comfort in the G35 here. Hardly any blind spots. And the view out the back is very clear too. You got that nice spoiler in the back. Gives it a little bit of a sporting look. And overall, I just think it's a winner. While the night look sort of has an orange glow, I think the coolest part might even be the aftermarket stereo here. But simple gauges, as I said earlier, and very easy to read too, even at night. So I was in the market for a sports sedan, and I had considered a lot of cars. On my short list was definitely the BMW 7 Series. You know, I started out kind of wanting a 12-cylinder automobile, actually. I think it was the great automotive writer David E. Davis that said, anyone who thinks they're worth anything should own a 12-cylinder automobile in their lifetime. And I certainly agree with that. So I was looking for a 12-cylinder BMW, and I really think that BMW, the 7 Series in particular, has the most comfortable seats available in the automotive world. So with that in mind, I was driving a lot of BMWs, but it seemed that the ones in my price range were blowing like blue-gray smoke, and I was very concerned that they might need valve jobs or at least some major engine work. And on a BMW, for that, you're talking 5, 7, 8 grand, so it's not a cheap proposition. So that led me to look at other cars, and the Infiniti G35, after doing research, really is a class leader. It was designed to be a class leader. It went up against cars like the Lexus IS300, and of course the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class, and you know what? It came away a winner. Faster, and also handles at least as good, if not better. It really is an amazing car. Basically, they took the 350Z engine and transmission, and they just put it on this nice sports sedan, and it's a very comfortable car. You know, you have some options available like heated seats and even navigation, but nowadays, of course, with a smartphone, you can get Bluetooth and all that sort of thing, no problem, retrofitted. And what you're starting with here in the Infiniti G35 is just a very capable sports sedan. It's quick. You know, I do have a vintage 911 too as my sports car, and really this one is actually in numbers quicker. Now the numbers in a sedan that seats 5 people might be better than my classic 911, but it's a totally different driving experience. However, this G35, every time you stab the accelerator, it's ready and raring to go. And it does have traction control, so with the traction control on, you can get it a little loose, but you're not going to lose control. However, if you turn the traction control off, man, this thing is just like a 350Z. And if you don't know what you're doing, believe me, I know people who have wrecked 350Zs on the track. You can certainly get in an ugly situation very quickly. So I always say, don't turn the traction control off unless you really know what you're doing.
terms of actual fuel economy, I've been getting anywhere between 18 and 22 miles per gallon. Now that's not great, and they do recommend premium, so it's definitely not fun going to the gas station. That's true. There are other cars out there that do a lot better. But again, I wanted something that's fun to drive. I also have a Prius, but I wanted a fun car to drive, and this is definitely it. You know, it's everything I wanted. It's quick, it carries up to 5 people. You know, it's a great car to use for business too. A lot of people that I've had in this car, they think it's a lot newer than it is. Some of them actually thought it was brand new. And in my opinion, if you compare it to the G37, I think this one actually looks better with the Art Deco styling up front. You know, in many cases, the first one released is oftentimes the best looking, and I think it's definitely the case with the G35 here. I really love the shape. And of course, this Caribbean blue color that I chose, I just absolutely love it. So every time I look at the car, I smile, and I'm extremely happy with my decision. Like I said, you know, I did want a 7 Series BMW, but I think this is a much more economical choice, and I can always go get one of those in the future, no problem. The Lexus IS 300 Sport Cross was definitely on my short list as well. I like the fact that that's a very capable sports sedan, and it's also a station wagon too, so you really can fit a lot in it. But this one, the G35, has a very large trunk, and you can fit a lot back there. So I think I made the right decision with the Infiniti G35 for me, and I think it's probably the best used sports sedan available for the money. I'm driving Ivan Katz.